Porgio subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 41 months. And says next project idea, Shelby learns networking.
End of line.
Hello. Portizo, thank you for the Tier 1 sub there and
I'll
for
do
41
subscribe with
months.
Prime. They've subscribed for 5 months. And says, look, a wild Shelby appeared.
End of line.
Hollow, thank you for the
Softman
5.
subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 38 months, currently on a 38-month streak. And says new project, series of streams involving fixing the Toyota van for fun.
End of line.
Spies, thank you for the 38.
PROFECY 90S subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 6 months, currently on a 2-month streak. And says, yay, Shelby is back.
End of line.
Prophecy, thank you for the 6 months there. Yeah, this is the no shave vacation look. It'll be gone tomorrow. You know, it's tradition. You go on vacation, you don't shave. You got to go back one day to show off. You didn't have to shave.
For 5 months, currently.
Looks nice. No, it doesn't.
Raiders from Belgium have joined.
End of line.
Magicotech subscribed with Prime. They've subscribed for 36 months and said, what's 36 in real money?
End of line.
Playful, thank you for the 5. Ben, thank you for the 17 Raiders. Hello and welcome. Majenko, thank you for the 36. Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. RHK, thank you for the 100 bits. All right. I sure don't shave on vacation. Exactly. So which activity was switched day? Yeah, there you go. Oh man, no, stash is going away. Technically, I haven't shaved here, but that didn't come in as much.
Belgium says, good evening. Did you have a good break, and who are you again? CHER 100.
End of line.
Thank you, Ben, for the 100 bits there. I did have a good break. It was very, very nice to just mentally unload everything. Yeah, I don't ever have an opportunity to not think about the channel or not think about the next project. So when I take a duration like that, I just, nothing. I don't think about any of the actual channel or anything. So yeah, that was nice. So, lots of Mario Kart World? Yes. Do I unlock mirror mode? Actually, no, because I haven't bothered with...
247
you know, we're going to talk about Mario Kart World kind of a lot.
For 18 months.
End of line.
G-Pin, thank you for the 18 months.
Look so cute, I had to shave it.
End of line.
Oh my gosh.
Subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 40 months, currently on a 40-month streak, and says congratulations on your Switch too.
End of line.
Final Kitty, thank you for the 100. Hiram, thank you for the 40. That's that one. Thank you so much. I have not talked a lot in the last 2 weeks, so my throat might actually not enjoy today. I'm glad I'm doing only a 2-hour day today. So this might be an interesting one.
GOGOGADGET 360 SIZCHDER 100. Please do not die when there is so much old tech to deal with, okay? Thanks.
End of line.
Go Gadget, thank you for the 100.
CHDER 100 extra hydrate stream.
End of line.
What are Dasher replacement keys doing? I have not continued on that project at all. We'll go over that in a moment. Hey, Matrox. All right, wait until the right time. Get Switch 2 since I'm still holding on to your Switch 1. I mean, I didn't sell my Switch 1. Definitely not my Gen 1 Switch 1. That has other uses. But yeah, we are going to play with Nixitubes a little bit. We're going to have some stream exclusive content about the Sony Soulbox ICZ400. If you paid attention in the video, I really did take the 550 home, so that's not here. But yeah, we're going to look at that for just a moment here. Walked in, they had 40 plus Switch 2 systems. Yeah, I think what happened is Nintendo just trucked them in. I mean, well, flew them in during that, let's just say 90-day period, you know, that someone out there made. And that meant they had a lot of stock provisioned here. So I think that's what happened. I think they diverted them from other places just because they knew they couldn't get them in later. Yeah. So I think that's what happened. Well, Diego, that is definitely happening with some of them.
They've subscribed for 8 months and says howdy.
End of line.
SK, thank you for the Prime
tier 1.
8.
They've subscribed for 38 months.
Holy
and
moly.
Says 38, yeah.
End of line.
That's this one. Lazy, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 38 months. All right. I'm not going to get a game system because I never buy games for them, I noticed. That seems fair. Yeah. Well, it's been a while, Vital Knieve. Walked to Walmart day after release. There was one Mario Kart World bundle left, so I bought it. Never had the original Switch. Wow. Well, there's a lot you missed out on. Welcome back to work. Thank you. Out of curiosity, which Mario Kart World bundle did you get? There were 2. Does yours have a sticker on the box, or is it a white stripe printed along the bottom of the box? There is speculation that there were more pre-orders for the bundle version than they initially anticipated, and they converted some of the non-bundle versions to bundles and just slapped a sticker on there instead. The difference is if you have the sticker one, the Mario Kart game is actually associated with your account versus associated with the Switch. Didn't notice a sticker? Could double check? Yeah, so if you have a round Mario Kart sticker in the upper right, then you have a potentially converted bundle. If you don't, then the game is assigned to your account. Basically, if you entered a code. If you entered a code, then the game is tied to your account. If it's not, then it's tied to your Switch. So if you ever sell the Switch, you actually sell the game with it. Only ever seen the sticker boxes. I have seen a stripe box in person in America. They were sold here. There was some speculation that they were region-based, but they were not. Yeah, the sticker ones had the codes inside. I got a sticker one, just random chance. But, yeah. No sticker bundles versions. Have it installed. Exactly, yes. Definitely had a code sheet inside. All right. Yeah, sticker was even a thing. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, I think they didn't think they were going to sell that many of the non-sticker one. All right. You guys want some stream exclusive Nixie action? All right, check this out. First off, let's see if I can replicate this. I first pulled the calculators up here. Yeah, I think I can. And I did, it looked like, let's see if I can force this to happen. Okay. So, no, not quite. Maybe back here. Yeah, that's it. So on my camera, it looked like that. So you see how those are like red right there? All right, so it's not actually on. This is my focus hinting feature on my camera. For some reason, I was looking at the camera when I was moving this. I saw that before I'd actually looked at the calculator's front itself. At any point since I came back to the office, I saw the red and I thought I left it on. The whole time it was gone. I was horrified. And then I looked over and it was in fact off. So the camera hinting about gave me a heart attack. All right. Here's your stream exclusive NixieTube calculator content. I have never tried this, and it's one of those things people always ask about in the comments, and it just doesn't occur to me because it's boring and I don't care. So, what happens if you divide by 0? I don't know. It might get stuck looping the data around. It might say invalid. I don't know. So, let's find out. I kind of wish I knew it was going to do that. That would have been cool for the video. That's lighting up all of the filaments. Oh, it literally never occurs to me to do that. Okay then. Huh. That's a thing. Can I? Okay, I can break execution. That's good to know. Huh. Well, there we go. Do I do vocal warm-ups? No. Well, that's not necessarily true. Kind of sometimes. This time because I knew that no amount of warm-up was going to work. So I didn't want to destroy my voice before I even started. Technically not a filament. All right, yes, fine. The cathodes. But yeah, all right, there we go. Make sure you have slow motion capture divide by 0. I don't think it was going to show us anything. Additionally, weird thing, turns out the Note 9 actually can record slower motion video than the S24 Ultra. The Note 9 can do 960, and this can only do 240. You're half right, Majenko. I will sing to music in the car on the way sometimes. It does actually genuinely help. Now we know what Infinity looks like on Nixies. Yeah. But yeah, there we go. So it locks up execution. Let's see if the same thing happens on the 1600. Calling themselves names while trying to get ready? Nah, just sing the music. It's way easier. All right. 16. See what it does. I've never tried it on this one either. Because, again, it's boring. So 1337 divide by... What was that about? Oh, I have too many digits. 1337 divide by 0 and go. Ah, that one checked. That one tracked it was an error. Okay, because the asterisk means you done goofed. So, okay. So they fixed it by this one. That's good to know. Because technically this one is in some ways inferior to the 550, which is interesting. But yeah. So that shows that. Did you grab the fire extinguisher? I didn't think I was too in trouble for that. By the way, isn't this thing just insane? Like, just holy moly. I really didn't want to get dragged down into it before I release the video just because there's so much to talk about. But dude, delay line memory calculator, infinite precision, fixed decimal point, like good grief, is so good. I have been hunting one of these since I got the other one. I really wasn't exaggerating. It's so cool. Yeah, really, really happy to have that one now. Man, that thing is awesome. 400 says built-in Digitest mode, yeah. All right. Well, you guys want to know what I did on break? See, is there a scale of error lights? You goofed, you done goofed. Done goofed, yeah. Depends. Well, it's sitting right over here. There we go. That's just this thing. All right. By the way, I got the official case like some kind of chump. Because actually, okay, my favorite case that I had previously was a nice thin one for the other Switch. I wasn't expecting the official case to be this thin. I thought it was going to be like the Steam Deck one, which is a big old chunker. But no, it was actually really nice. Yeah, keep it a PG. Yeah. So, I did video games. Woo, video games. Yay. All right. So I'll show you what the thing you need to know is pertinent for the next part of this. Don't worry. We're going to bring it back to tech tangents that aren't video game related. So this is a Nintendo Switch 2, all right? This is Mario Kart World. I fell for Nintendo's marketing. No, I was always going to buy this. All right, if we press the menu button here, first off, note that this doesn't support touchscreen, because why would the touchscreen console support touchscreen? You know, that would make sense. Nintendo has a rich history of not supporting the touchscreen on their touchscreen console. Anyway, I want you to pay attention to this number right down here. So $394. All right. So if you ever played Mario Kart DS, DS says hello. Yes, exactly. I love this part of this game. So I'm going to try to keep this in view here. But $394 is relevant to missions that exist in free roam. And you find these throughout the world by driving around like this, yada yada. All right, you go, you look, I don't see any. Oh, there's the thing. So this is a P-switch, all right? You find one of these, you drive onto it, and then it gives you a little mini mission. This is what free roam is all about, and I absolutely love this. It's so ridiculously good. So you drive around, you do stuff, you mess up because you were supposed to grind rail, and you go through the things, all right? So there are 394 missions like that in the map. But if I go into the map, there was one right around there, but there's no marker for it. And there's no markers for them anywhere on the map. So you have no way of knowing. Matter of fact, we're not even 100% sure that the maximum number is 394. That's just the most that anybody has ever found. So I did a thing because I was on break, and apparently when I'm not working, I still have to work. So let's go look at something. I'm taking my water with me because my voice is going to die. I know it. So those of you who hang around the Nintendo Switch community probably know about the Breath of the Wild object map. People really would have liked there to be something for this game for that, because, like, you know, that would be nice. And someone made one. And that someone...
JJDB 210 has subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 41 months, currently on a 41-month streak, and says such an awesome tool.
End of line.
JJ, thank you for the Tier 1 sub and for 41 months. I really appreciate that. Black box, I just want to make sure. Yeah, I did bump that. There we go. Okay. Okay, so.
CART 1443 has subscribed with Prime. They've subscribed for 35 months, currently on a 35-month streak, and says.
End of line.
Loriku says CHEER 100 Shelby can't help documenting.
End of
Yeah,
line.
really. Cart 1443, thank you for the tier or the Prime sub and for 35 months. I think that's this one. Thank you so much. And Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. All right, what non-DG stream? Yeah, we're not no DG streams for a while. This is the show and tell from break for now, and then we'll talk about. So, did you make this before IGN release starts? IGN sucks. You don't need IGNs. You need this. All right. I'll tell you this. Every single other map is garbage. So let me go over why mine is. What do you mean that doesn't answer the question? It doesn't matter. Everyone was doing it at the same time. IGN's isn't done, for one. They published their article preemptively. I don't have the Peach medallions and the panels on here. I'm getting help with that, potentially. So those might show up on here. But personally, I don't care about the Peach medallions that much because they are boring. You don't do anything. They're not like the missions, which are just awesome. So let me highlight one of these. All right. Did I get some sleep? Yeah, in between map. So this is one of the P-switches. For every single P-switch on the map, I have a corresponding screenshot that shows you where it actually is in the world. I also have the mission title that pops up when you start it. Now, I would like to point out here that from this image, you can see that P-switch, but you can see that I'm on the other bank when I took it, and it's located here. That's not a mistake on my part. Now, I went around the map. I went to the actual location where these were. I parked the cart on the P-switch, and then I used OBS with an image overlay, zoomed out all the way, and had it in alignment image that I used out the exact pixel coordinates in the video feed where the player icon was. So these are accurate down to 1920 by 1080 pixels, which is what the pointer down here are. If we zoom all the way out on the map and we go over here, the maximum value you can get is 1920 by 1080 while you're still over the map. So mine are pixel precision. Oh yeah, you'll notice this line here, all right? So this is where you end up after you do the mission, because I added speedrun routing options to this. So we can actually view where every single mission ends on the whole map. You'll notice some of these end in blue. That's because those ones end with the cart flying. So you'll usually notice, well, that one doesn't say like soaring or anything. This one ends, yeah, with the power lines. So, yeah, you can see where all that stuff is. But it gets even better. Because let's say you want to set up a speed run for routing all P-switches. Well, let's say you're going along the Golden Gate Bridge here, all right? So we'll add this one to our first segment. Then we'll add an additional one to our next leg of the segment. We'll add another one. Oh, but we can see there's a weird thing here.
Shelby designs an off switch for his brain.
End of line.
Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. Yeah, that's what I really need to do. Oh no, we have a problem here. We can't go from all the way from the bridge to here. Oh, that's not a problem because we can reset warp in this game. So if we want to go back, we just have to click in the stick after we finish the mission, and then boom, it teleports us right back. So that's a feature. Some disconnect sounds. That was just email messages. We can add the next one. We can do the same thing here. Boom. So what we actually just did is we routed a segment. So you could have segments in here. We can also have multiple segments. So that this is our bridge segment. We can add another segment. Let's call this the island segment. Island. All right. Let's add that. Oh, look, it hid that one. We're gonna start adding our new markers down here. We should do that one last. So what we could do is, let's say we're gonna go from this one to this one. We'll add a marker here, and then we'll select this one, and then we'll move it up in the order there. Gonna tell some speedrunners about this or something? The speedrunning community already knows about this tool. They are enraptured. So yeah, we can just set up some routes here and some stuff. And oh yeah, we can show all the segments we have routed. Is your website ready for the amount of traffic for this? I don't know how much traffic it'll get. What's the plan for this if it gets a lot of traffic? I have a feeling it won't. But it's hosted all on the VPS, not on the actual server. So it doesn't go through the proxy. Shoei's like, I paid $80 for this and I will 200% this game. That's what it felt like, yeah. Someone asked how long, 50 hours. That's how long it took to make this with all of the images and everything. It was worth it because I actually didn't know how to do a lot of the stuff that I did here. So this was one half about playing the game and learning and having fun. The other half was about learning how to do JavaScript stuff. So there's actually, it's all in one file because I'm a masochist, but there is one 1,600 line JavaScript file that's powering this whole thing right now. Yeah, front end. So that was the goal here. So you guys have seen me do a lot of Python Flask stuff, and that's because I don't know how to do front end stuff. And I was like, I want to learn front end. So I learned front end. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted my development environment for this is a folder that I just open the index.html in Firefox locally. I don't have to, there is no server. You could literally scrape this, put it in a folder and run it right now. It would be a little difficult because the image files for this are not statically linked. Or let me rephrase that. They're not in the HTML. The DOM is built on the fly, so that doesn't work. But there's some cool stuff that I've been doing in this, and I'm still not done because I think there's some fun stuff that can be done with this. So I'm going to be adding more features still. I don't know if we'll ever look at this on stream again because this is like wildly off topic for what I normally talk about. But yeah, 1600 lines pretty good for all this. Yeah, 0 libraries. I'm pretty happy with it. This is my first time using HTML canvas. So that was really exciting. So these are the markers on the map. Let me increase the UI scale here. So you can check these. Here, you know what? I haven't even shown you like the best part. Gosh, there's so much to talk about with this because I spent so long on it. Let's say you're playing and you're a casual, okay? You don't care about the speedrun stuff. You see this and you're like, wow, that's cool. I would like to know which ones that I've done. Spacebar, boom. Oh, look, we just marked that one as complete. We can go through and we can mark all the ones we've done as complete. Well, that's great, but you just said that it's all servers, it's all client side. There's no server stuff. What does this save button do? Well, that exports a JSON file. What do you do with that? You can reload it. And then you save your progress as a JSON file that you handle yourself. Some people won't like that. Some people will love it. There's a reason, though, that you save it beyond, I don't want any server stuff. If we enable this right here, I can click somewhere on the map like that. We get a pointer. We can name that pointer my new marker. Boom. We just added a custom map marker to this. When we save this file, that map marker is stored in your completion save data. Yeah, Kate doesn't really want to open this, but here we go. Custom, my new marker with the X and Y coordinates. So you can save your own custom markers to this that are yours only. And you can use those in routing too. So if you want to mark, a particular thing you need to do in routing, you can do that. So we have 2 segments here, right? Like that's cool. We got things, we got stuff like, why would you bother with that? Because, no one's going to bring up this website when they're, doing a run. That's true. No one is. Wow, what's an LSS file? Well, that stands for LiveSplit splits. So LiveSplit is the program that you'll see anyone do like speed runs with. They'll put all their stuff in there. All right. There's a web version of this that you can run. All right, so we can go view that. And look, there it is. In this web version, you can import a file. Now, the files are the same across all versions. But hey, look, it likes the thing I just exported. I can open that. Oh, it's the Mario Kart World thing. Look, if we open this, there's all of the splits that we put in here in LiveSplit. So yeah, I created the ability to export your routes directly to LiveSplit because, why not? And you can actually reload this file directly back in. That was extra interesting because LiveSplit uses XML. And the XML handling for JavaScript is interesting. And the way that XSplit handles XML is garbage. So XML is, well, here, let's just view source on this. I can't view source there. Here, view source, boom. So this is HTML, it's actually XML. XML is just a markup language, kind of like Markdown or, JSON or anything, YAML, however you pronounce it. But XML has the bracketed tags like this. Can just parse? Yeah, but here's the thing, stay hydrated. The LiveSplit XML is extremely sensitive. You must have all tags that it's expecting. You must have the correct capitalization that it's expecting. And you cannot add any additional tags or it starts to freak out. So that was kind of a problem. So I figured out a way to work around that. and that you can have, where's the section for this? Okay, so this is where we save the route. We have to specify our XML encoding format. So we have to specify that every single time we create a new element, and we have to use the create element namespace command, which is weird. Yeah, RHK, I think they're manually validating the XML. I don't think they're using like an external library or something for that. I wouldn't know anyone who would do, roll their own entirely. That sounds crazy. So it doesn't handle any variants well. But I still wanted to be able to save some of my own custom data in here, specifically the segments, because there's no like normal metadata way like that. But I found out they don't scan attributes. So I'm setting the segment names as attributes in the XML file that you load into LiveSplit. The downside is if you edit this in LiveSplit and resave the file in any way, it clobbers everything because it has no idea those attributes exist. What'll end up happening is you get one blank route list that you load back in here with everything merged. So that's a downside. But you can just directly export to LiveSplit with this, which is very nice. So yeah. Let's see, is there anything else? Oh yeah, all the course starts are mapped in here because you warp to those in game because those are the only points you can actually warp to. So if you were actually doing a route here, say on default segment, you would probably add that as your marker for Crown City, and then that would be your first split there. So, but yeah. I added filtering. So let's say you want to find all of the ones that have blue coins. Boom, there you go. You do have to search blue because they were weird. You can't search blue space coins because some of these are blue dash coins. I mean, I guess I could just do dash there. Two are blue dash coins. So yeah, you can filter it that way. Can't filter course starts because you can just click that button and they're gone. But yeah. You can hide your custom markers by making that go away. This was very interesting. I had a lot of fun doing this. Like I said, it was more about learning all this stuff than it was anything else. So, blue coins and dash blue coins. Yeah, localization. Yeah. Speedrun for Stream? No. We're not doing that. We're actually going to be planning whatever projects I'm going to do next that are not related to this. So there's a lot of stuff here. I might make a second channel video that just goes over this to like showcase how to use it and stuff. Absolutely incredible work. Thank you. It was a lot of work, but I think it was worth it. We can clear that search field. Oh, that's the custom one. We need to bring up P switches and clear that to bring them all back. There we go. So yeah, this was interesting. Second channel video. Yes, please. All right. So let's see, is there anything else related to this? Oh, there's a cool thing I did. This was a fun math thing. If I click the island split, boom, it zooms in on it. We can click the bridge split, it refocuses and rezooms on that. Any value in marking pipes? I wouldn't think, I don't think I would want to, especially for somewhere like Wario Stadium where there's a bajillion pipes all stacked on top of each other. You wouldn't be able to discern them, and I would have to offset them. Like if you go to Shagai Bazaar here, this one's kind of a mess because of the 3 P switches right next to each other, which for some reason I could not get the coordinates to work out in a way that made sense at all for this. Or did that finally, is that correct? Oh, that might actually be good there. This one is in a pipe. If we bring these back, I actually show the pipe because it's one of 2 P switches that are in a pipe. So I show that instead. But yeah, this was, this was one of the things that I just wanted to do, learn how to do because of the data set. So this is like a little weird nerdy thing. I can bring this up here. So if we search for calc, center round. So this is just a fun little thing that I got to do once because I now have, this is one of the things that's kind of cool about this, all right? I have a giant data set that I get to play with now. Like it is an enormous data set and it's a very visual one. And there's lots of fun things you can do with that. That's one of the reasons why I did this. In addition to just learning all this stuff, now I get to play around with this. So what this does, this function takes a route, so the points that make up this line, and then it calculates the maximum x and y values for a square or that would enclose it, and then it calculates the x and y coordinate position that is the center of all of them. It's not weighted, it's just the direct center. And with that, I've also added a pad value that will pad out the size of the box. It's a percentage, so if you put 0, you're at 100%. If you do 0.5, then it's 150%. This, when you click these, pads by 200%, so the width between this box here and this box here, plus this should be double the width of the route, and that lets you zoom in on this and do stuff like that. But that was just one of those fun things. I wanted to learn how to do the spatial stuff there, and now I can. So yeah. The one thing I haven't really solved, you'll notice that the box here is butted right up against this. So I have a lot of nested flex elements in here, and I don't know flex. This is a CSS styling thing for this. It's kind of a nightmare. I did as best as I could. You can, in theory, actually, why is this like stopped? Why can't I scroll this? Oh, that's weird. Does this break? Oh, I bet I... Oh, no. Wait a minute. Menu. Display. Ooh, okay. Wait, but that... I think if I hide and I show this, then it breaks the scrolling. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's a problem. Okay, so I first bug to fix. Well, not the first. There have been a few. So that's a thing. Anyway, so I'll refresh here. But yeah, the Flexboxes, you can scroll through these if you make it too small, because like you got to be able to use this stuff. That's only for vertical. For horizontal, I kind of sort of added a mobile view. It's pretty bad. I don't know how to do the touch inputs, because apparently it's like extremely browser dependent. And I couldn't find a like clear like example of how to do like multi-touch zoom for pinch zoom or panning or any of that stuff. So I have these buttons that you get to click. Oh, it's so elegant. Oh, it's just wonderful. Everyone loves using buttons for moving a mouse around, a map around, right? Yeah, it's fantastic. So you get those. Also, I have no idea how like font scaling works on mobile, because if you load this up on a phone, on an iPhone, it'll kind of make sense, but like on Firefox on Android, it is tiny, and I don't know why. I don't know if you're supposed to like figure out I genuinely have no idea how you're supposed to figure this out. So Bugzilla Gyro for bug tracking. It wasn't even in a Git repository until I had the code mostly done. It's currently in a private Git repository in my private Git lab. So yeah, excuse me. That's how it works right now. I mean, it's a static website. If you want the source code, you can just go download it, but I'm not doing a collaborative thing on this. So there's no real reason to do that. And this was just a for fun project. So pinching causes the entire page to zoom. Yes. Yeah. Because it doesn't support the elements, the events. So CSS feature arbitrarily and with malice. Yeah. I was trying to look it up for JavaScript though. So as a kid, we only had buttons and we liked it. Yeah. You just got to use the joystick. It's a virtual joystick with a W, what is it? Like W and T for zoom. And you never know what those actually mean. So, oh, it's wide in telephoto, isn't it? Oh man. Okay. So yeah, that's what I did. I'll say this about mirror mode now, because I think Sandy was asking me about that. I didn't unlock mirror mode because I was doing this. And the other reason I didn't unlock mirror mode is because knockout tours the 150 cc's are really hard if you drive with skill, I'm going to say. But apparently just driving in the most boring possible way you can imagine, they become trivial. And that really killed my interest in doing those. Because I tested it. I had a difficult time doing 150cc Grand Prix for the first cup. And then I just gas stick only just steered and cleared it. Like, I did not drift one time. It was ridiculous. So that kind of killed my interest. Apparently they use an adaptive AI kind of thing. Wow. Oh, that sucks down Searchlight. I have experienced that. It is bad. You probably got to change that wax gasket, and it is not trivial. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I need to replace this map view or map at some point background image, because for one, it is technically possible to get rid of the player icons. It's just a lot of work because you got to composite multiple images. You have to play as every one of these. So when I took this screenshot, I forget who I was playing as. Their icon will appear somewhere on this, I think, but it doesn't really matter. So you play as them, you get the region that they were in, and then you stitch that with all the other ones because you can make them disappear. Oh, that is a bug that exists. If you like click and like zoom in just the right way, you can get the mouse cursor stuck, but whatever. I'm thinking about trying to run this through Inkscape's SVG converter thing and turning it into that. And then you can barely faintly see some road lines. I'm thinking about trying to just trace over those and then making an SVG background instead. I think that would be cool. So, but yeah, because this map is garbage. I would massage a couple of things like this part. I would just push up a little bit to make it accurate. Yeah. The problem between the shutoff valve and the wall. Oh, that is way better. Yeah, way better. SVG tracing is fun. Yeah, it might really suck, so I don't know. Kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah, all right, that was it. Here's what this is going to gain for, like, minimum viable product. Oh, it's, I think, a bit past that at this point. It's already gone through some minor revisions for just like little feature requests. After publishing it, I posted it on Reddit. I wasn't going to at first, but then I was like, you know what? I put in all the effort. People might as well know about it and use it. So like one new. All right, am I back? We're all good? Back? Okay. Back, I think. Ooh, I just whacked the stream computer. Okay, back. Okay, cool. This is an experimental stream. I'll say that for now. Emojis now appear in polls. Yes, they do.
What effect? CHER 100. It got coxed up.
End of line.
Yes, it was that side actually. That's good to know. Yeah, you're right, because I lost chat updates for a second. One new feature is added. Yeah. Oh, so okay, you guys missed the feature entirely. Let me re-show you. Okay, so this was the feature. When I posted this to Reddit, someone asked for a spoiler-free mode, so you can click this, and it hides uncompleted P-switches. You can still search for them here. So like, let's say you did the abduct blue coins ones. Abduct, all right. You can find that and then you can check it as completed and then it shows up on the map. That way you can track ones that you've done, but without being spoiled for other ones. So, yep, emojis on chat screen. That was another update that I did. So yeah, it's a spoiler-free mode. You can also try to click around. So like, let's say you found one by on top of this rock here. You can click. No, is it this? It's somewhere around here. Big one. There. They're technically on the map. Wow, it's hard to just zoom out. No. Oh, because it's filtered. Duh. Okay, so it's on top of the rock. Boom. You can kind of use that to find them, but that's not as reliable. So yeah. But anyway, that was a last minute feature. It adds a a URL get parameter. I need to, this is another feature I need to add. I forget what the other bug feature is. Oh yeah, the flex. I need to make it set the box back to flex, not block. That's what's going on there. And then I need to make this switch to spoiler when you're in non-spoiler. That's what that needs to do. So, all right. Anybody have any questions or anything about this? I figure I'll offer that before we move on to whatever the next thing is. Oh, the thing that this will benefit is a shareable. What do you mean? It's just mkw.techtangents.net. Any features I ended up scraping? I don't think so, actually. I cut them all in. You weren't taking a break. This was a break. I mean, yeah, it was a break in that when I'm making videos, I wouldn't have been able to do this. This is the kind of thing where I can have the idea, like, that would be fun. I don't have the time. Like, it's something I wanted to do, obviously, and I wanted to learn about it, but I couldn't. So, is there a stream issue back? Was there a minor stream issue there? Small hiccup? Okay. Let's see if that was office side or not. I can't tell because that's not how this works. Okay. In 10 minutes, once we're an hour in, I'll tell you what the difference is. Kicking them off to sound like Shelby's about to talk about not video game stuff. Yeah. Oh, sorry. The video game stuff's so boring. Being a normal Twitch streamer. Anyway, yeah, this was a lot of fun. But, oh, yeah, what this will work into. The Twitch overlay can now have HTML canvas stuff integrated. So we have done the gpib overlay before, which uses chart.js. Now that I know how to use canvas, I could make my own stuff, and I could put a transparent image directly over the stream and just do HTML drawing directly on stream. So I'm actually kind of really looking forward to coming up with use cases for that. I think that would be fun. Do I feel the front end dev pain yet? Yes, because I don't know how to do pinch zoom. I would love to figure that out. So like here, let's do, JS pinch zoom, all right? Oh, look, MDN, they're fantastic. Let's just look at some stuff. This isn't the one that has it. Was it touch events? Touch events. This is the one I was looking at. Okay. So I look through all this. They have an example. Okay, so this doesn't work here. All right, so this is their test thing. Doesn't work here. When I try and run it on my phone, it just errors out. On both Firefox Mobile, which MDN, Chrome as well, doesn't work. So I don't know about this pinch zoom one. I might try this at some point. I gotta figure it out if it's like possible. Because it would be nice to be able to figure that out. But yeah, I have no idea. So that's one thing. But that doesn't matter for like what I'll actually end up using the knowledge for. So, but yeah, this was fun to do. So, all right. Think we should move on. All right. So there was, what else we got here? 3D printed calculator, button pusher, gpib gets punched real time with the calculator's next to display. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. There was a version of the SoBox that had a printer output connector. I don't know if it could have been used for input. So made a pen to input demo web page. It shows touch inputs in 3D space. That's wild. But yeah, so that's that. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. So, project planning. That's a real point of today's stream. What are we going to do on stream? So this is Nextcloud. This is how I usually track my stuff. These are just old things that I had, like real old things that I had as concepts for what we can do on stream. So here's what I'm thinking. For a little while, what Ben? Did I drop out again? I don't think so. 52-minute tangents. Nah, that's the I'm back part. That's not the tangent part. Stream is fine. Okay. So this is a two-part stream. You know, the pre-switch location screenshots must have taken forever. Pretty project. It was. It did, or take forever, I should say. But yeah, it was worth it just for the interesting stuff. So, missed an alarm because it didn't ring through my do not disturb. Oh, I hate it when that kind of thing happens. Yeah. I need to not make weird, like, sounds. Yeah, let me go over these. So, MDA monitor cap map. I have a, is it the Amber one? Or was it the IBM 5151? I think my Amber MDA monitor should be cap mapped. So at some point we should do that. Diagnose new 386 board. So I have a 386 motherboard that was listed as new and it doesn't work. I have no idea why. It's probably like a shorted tantalum or something. I don't know. Maybe we checked for that. I don't remember, but it doesn't work. HP protocol analyzer. So that one's a little more complicated. It's basically the concept is to find a use case for it, but I think I'm just going to delete that one. It's a little too nebulous. All right, finish memory writer 645S. It's currently sitting in the other room torn apart. Still, hasn't been put back together. I think I need to find belts that are the correct size still. I think I didn't find those before. So there's that. I'm going to move these out of the date one because that became irrelevant. So we're going to get rid of that. All right, finishing touches on GPIB overlay. I think we actually did that, but it probably wouldn't hurt to just look at the code base again just to make sure. The downside to this, why I never end up using it, is because I have to run it on the stream PC, and I have to have all of the GPIB equipment set up in just the right way. We've done it a couple of times since we worked on it more, but I don't know. You know what? We did, realistically, we did that. So I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. Rifa checkbox on Caps Wiki. What that is about. All right, let me pull this off to the side. So if we go to Caps Wiki, not that, Caps Wiki, not Caps Wiki. When you fill in a new device, all right, let's, new page guide. So test, all right? Dude, why is my keyboard dropping inputs? Yeah. So you get this info box on Caps Wiki. Now, when you're doing stuff here, you have options like leak risk. And then this, it's not quite a drop-down box. I think I figured out a way of doing the drop-down box on the Tech Tangents Wiki, right? Wiki. Tech Tangents on that. I am logged in. New page tools. Test. So did I figure out Dropbox or yeah, yeah. So I need this, but on Caps Wiki. So I need to remember. I need to look at how I did that. For leak risk for low, medium, high. But I just want a checkbox, like a Boolean one on this for REFAs, whether or not they exist, basically. So that was just like a really minor thing, but it's still going to be one of those things that it will take more time than I think. So what that really is Caps Wiki maintenance. So I can just REFA checkbox and general maintenance. Yeah, that's basically what that is. I wonder if that's spelled correctly. Probably not. Okay, 16500C video capture. That now becomes B video capture because it makes more sense to do that. So I was going to do a walkthrough of how I did video capture on the 16500C, but now I have the B, the one that's on the cart that I still need to do video capture mod on. And it would make sense to just re-record the whole thing. I still somewhere have all the footage from VJ modding the C, but it would make sense to just do the B instead. So those are what I had before. Now, I have some more that I want to add here. AT&T 6300 repair number 2. All right, I want to revisit the AT. What is this? Okay, apparently you can add like metadata I didn't know about. Oh, it's a tag. Pair take 2. Okay. So unfilter. Okay. So I ordered the chip that we think it needed. So if I go back to Caps Wiki, lead page, AT&T, shall have to ping Philip when you do that. Think it'd work? Oh, cool. So under my projects, we have the Olivetti M2418 T6300. Okay, I'm on the talk page. Wizard Tim was trying to tell me which chip it was that I needed. Okay, so from this 3 years ago stream, this IC's output was incorrect. Okay, so hopefully replacing this chip fixes it, basically. So I would like to find out, because it's been up in the air for a long time. It would be cool if it worked. I'm out of water. Rip throat. So I would like to do that. So that's one thing that I would like to get to. But we're not doing any of this today. Today we're just planning. Coffee? No, I would have to have water to make coffee. So that's one thing. I need to scan DG docs. So I have a couple of data general documents that are unpreserved. We need to scan those. That's a higher priority one. I'm going to make the AT&T a higher priority one too. It's not a subset of DG though. I don't know that we're going to do this tomorrow. Tomorrow, I know what I want to sort of tomorrow. But I don't know exactly what I want to do. Tomorrow I want to try and record a second channel video on stream. And I want to do that more. So that's the objective for tomorrow. We got to figure out a topic for that. And the topic for second channel videos is different. I do have a list for that in here, but we're not going to cover that right now. So yeah, for the DG docs, I forget which one it is. It's not that. Is it this? It's not that. It's the Sysgen manual. That's it. Which I think is this one. Yeah, how to generate your DOS system. So this manual is unpreserved, along with the advertising book that I have. So I need to do that. On this wedge scanner design, I want to start working towards this. So the wedge scanner, I'm going to draw for a little bit here. GIMP. All right. Let me cover what this is, because I've talked about this a long time ago, kind of hinted at it recently, but it would be worth revisiting here. Okay. So you have a flat bed scanner. Hold on, I'm just trying to get like a kind of glass color. Okay. So you have a flatbed scanner, a real cheap one. Okay. Like a CanoScan Lite, all right? If you take that scanner and you look at it on the face on, so the lid opens up, you close the lid and you look at it directly straight on, you're gonna find that the inside of that thing is basically a hollow husk like that, and then there's a piece of glass here that I can shift, all right? And then plastic a little bit, kind of like this. All right, let's have the scanner constructed. All right. Now, then you have the scan element. So if you take it and then you look at it this way, you rotate it, you flip it up, you have the scan element. So for that, you have a scanner like this. Okay, and then there's the glass. And then you have the scanner component itself in here that somehow moves up and down. Now I've seen a couple of different of this for how the scan element works, but there's a particular one that is of interest to me. I'm going to make the scan element blue here really quick just so that we know what we're talking about. So I've seen some where there's tracks on the sides and then some that there's a track in the middle. So what I'm interested in is the kind that has a track in the Because what ends up happening is you have the scan element completely free floating inside of the scanner when you're looking at it back to straight on. I got the most exasperated pen flip out of you. Yeah. So this is what it looks like straight on when you have the center one, because there is a linear rail, and then sometimes there is like a pulley system with a wire. Sometimes there's a geared track, but there's a couple of different versions of this that are centered with a linear rail that guides it. All right. Now, we can do an interesting thing with this. All right. So if we take this, all right, we're going to grab this. We're going to shrink this down just a little bit here. All right. Scale. Why'd you do that? Hold on. Just do this. Okay. Now I'm going to regret doing that. Okay. So we take this. We're going to put this one here. All right. We're going to grab another one of these. Okay. So 2 scanners. All right. Now, we could, in theory, do this. I want to cut out this part. Oh, hold on. I got to, here. This, there. Okay. I want to cut out this part of the plastic. We will still have the front lip. All right. If you were looking at this face down, so you would have a bead that goes around here. The glass is only in the middle, essentially. So there's a front and a back to the plastic. So we would cut a slot in the side on one side. We would then be able to not delete everything. We'd be able to grab the glass and we could slide it over. But let me do that in a different way that's less stupid. We take the glass and we slide it over. All right. We have that capability. All right. Now the sensor isn't actually that big, so I'm gonna just remove a little bit of it here so that we have sensors bleed out on the glass over on the sides. All right. So we have that. We've slid the glass over. It's still held in the front and the back, but then we have an open side. What we do with that open side off entirely. All right. So we do that. Now we have this other one. What we're actually going to do is the exact same thing. Going to do this, but we're going to mirror it. All right. So we now have 2 open-sided scanners. We're going to cut this in a little bit more here. And now what we can do, all right, is we can take these and we can crop this slightly closer. We can butt these right up against each other. But we better than that because we can rotate this and then we can put it up against the other one at an angle. Just pretend that I don't have a bunch of white in the image. All right. So we've now created, here we go. We've now created a wedge with 2 scanners, and what we can do is not cut the same sides. We can actually rotate one of them 180 degrees. So one scanner element goes that way and the other one goes this way, so they would never hit each other. We could put a book on here with a spine, scan one side, and scan the other while just resting the book on top. So that's the goal. I now have all of the hardware for this. What we need to design is the structure that goes in here that holds these scanners. We need to figure out how we're going to handle that. We need to figure out how much we can cut out of the middle here and how all the scripting the 2 scanners to go at this different times, because if they ever run at the same time, the 2 sensors will hit inside because they are going to slightly overlap, because we must be able to slide this glass over to get as close to the edge as possible. 3D printing is going to be the answer, but we have to figure out how we want to do this, because it would be nice, wouldn't it, if the pivot point could be right here. So what we probably actually want to do is build a structure that holds outside of the scanners that can pivot right at that glass meet location. So our actual structure will be about this big, which is going to be huge compared to the scanners. So I want to work on this at some point. But we need to do some exploratory surgery on the scanners. Could you scan and fold paper at the same time? I'm not sure what you mean. You have a true union, so no external hinge. Not exactly sure what you mean. Let's see, they won't hit each other, won't they anyway? So what I'm talking about here, I can draw it over here. Okay, if we go back to the concept where we have the two scanners. All right, hold on. Let me just grab the scan color here. So we have two scanners. Boom, one here, one here. All right, we're going to cut off the inner walls here, but we're going to cut them off in the opposite side. So this will be the home position for that scanner's element. This will be the home position for this one. So this one will scan in this direction. This one will scan in that direction. So as long as we scan one page first and then the other page second and give it time to home, we'll never hit each other. So we can get these scanners into an interference position, which will make the spine depth even greater. Now the spine depth being greater is also why we need to be able to protrude the glass slightly out of the side, because we need to scooch it in just a little bit. Now Canon actually sells a scanner that's similar to this. It's kind of like my A-Vision that I have right here as well. But it can't do 2 pages, and there's the edge is useless. Like it's the reason that we can do this too. So this is one project I really would like to get to. I've been putting this one off for too long, and I finally found enough of the exact same scanner that we can do this with. So I would really like to progress more on that. I don't know when that's going to happen though. That one's not a quick project. So I don't know. We're going to have to take little bites on that one, but we need to just start by cutting up a scanner and figuring out how that goes. So we can add a subtask for this, carve up scanner, because that's going to be our first task. Okay. After that, we can figure out how this will work. Can you get new glass made with a beveled angle so they can meet? So maybe that'd be really expensive. This is why we would just reuse the glass that they come with. I would need I would need it to be super precise. CD ripping video sometime 2027. As we saw with, what was it, Redumper, there may be a way of ripping the sub-channel data, but what do you do with it? I need more information. These are not videos, by the way. These are streams. One of my goals I think I want to do going forward is start to decouple streams from videos. So I want streams to be back to more like background projects, not something that's like taking a bunch of brain power that I got to think about constantly and it requires tons of research. Like wedge scanner, okay? We go cut up a scanner. After that, okay, we learned whether or not that works, and then we can move on to designing it. We'll do a little bit of, CAD, a little bit of 3D printing. Okay, it's not like taking up my whole life. Unlike the data generals, where it's like I'm constantly moving from giant scary topic to giant scary topic. Push it back to 2027 to find a use for the sub-channel. Yeah. Couldn't get the data general keycaps to fit right. I stopped trying because I went on break. And now I really want to do anything that is not data general. Which kind of sucks because I really want to make the keyboard adapter, but I also really want my brain to not be thinking about data general stuff. So, yeah, these are all meant to be like ongoing document scanning or simple little things, repairing the AT&T. So, yeah. A lot of audio CDs have lyric data in the subchannel, but it's really easy to decode that directly to text. And that is part of the queue spec. You can just have text data in the queue for that. Get back to maybe pass project on to someone else at some point. No one else can do it. No one else has a working dasher. I mean, there are some people who have like working dashers, but it's going to require probing the keyboard stuff. Like it's going to require direct work on it. So all right. There's that stuff. There are more projects. Hold on. This is how I kind of tend to track projects, is I just take pictures of stuff and then I look at the pictures. Also, let me look at a thing real quick over here. Wow, that's loud when it's right in my face. What was I doing? Oh yeah, this. Where is this? I just want to look at a number. Oh, I said I was going to reveal the thing. Yeah, that's right. I can do that now. If I'm remembering correctly, we are currently streaming through this phone. This is my Note 9. I finally fixed the problem with it, with the second SIM. My business number is now on Google Fi on that phone. This phone, one of the reasons I bought it was it was dual SIM, but apparently you can't have multiple SIMs from the same provider on the same phone, at least not with Google Fi. So I wasn't able to have both numbers on the one phone, really annoyingly. So I now have the Note 9 here, but it's USB tethered to the streaming computer, and we're streaming right now. That is either 25 or 50 gigs of additional data. I say either or because for some reason this Google Fi account is getting that irritating net neutrality violating thing where they're trying to limit tether data. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Over USB, that is. But yeah, we're streaming through that phone right now, and I think it's working. Kind of weird. So yeah, that's going to be a fallback solution for the other plan, which is 100 gigs now. We are streaming at 2 megabits per second at H.265 right now. So if it's been stable and look good, there you go. That's why. So anyway, thought you're pulling your phone out to look at eBay listings. Oh no, I have been doing that. There is an eBay listing I am extremely frustrated about because I just bought the thing that it is, and I spent $700 on the thing. Because it was the only functional one I'd ever seen on the whole planet, and someone just busted out a pallet of box instead. And mine is not new in the box, and mine did not come with anything original, so now I have to get one that's new in the box, which really sucks. Because if I make a video about the thing, and then someone else buys one that's new in the box, I can't say that it's the only functional one on the planet anymore now, by the way. So that's a thing. Although they haven't turned on any of the ones in the box. They're probably all dead. But it's possible that someone else could buy one of these and then also make the video now, which this is the thing, by the way, that I showed you those floppy drives on. You can buy them all. For one, wouldn't do that because I would rather people have them. But two, if they go for the same price as I paid, I can't afford that. So I have to buy at least one because I need it to be new in the box because it comes with the original software, which is unique to the computer. Video on what? I'm not telling you because I don't want people bidding me up on it. So yeah, chances are you're not bidding on it. What is up with the 6300? See repair 2 in the list. We think there's a dead chip on it. So I ordered the chip. I haven't tried putting it in yet. So that's a thing at some point. I was also trying to look through my photos to see what other stuff I accumulated in the background during the Data General streams and work to see if we could figure out things. Oh, you know what? I think I can do this. What is this? This is a test Weiss WY100. I currently have in the office a Weiss WY100 terminal that goes to AJ from Forgotten Machines. And he would like to know if it, basically it came with a keyboard that he doesn't have or anything else. And he'd like to know if it works. So, yeah. The thing in the box that it is now more expensive, I don't it's not that expensive currently, but it's going to end pretty expensive because people are probably going to look up recent auctions, and mine should still show up.
End of line.
Dr. Doobie, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 10 months. I appreciate that. Best capture card PCIe, 1080p for Linux. I mean, I like the Intensity Pro 4K, but I have discovered a weird audio issue with it and the Extron scalers I use. Thanks for the edutainment. I appreciate it. But no MIDI or keyboard stuff acquired over the time. Let's see here. So the calculators, no data general stuff. No. Ooh, well, where is that? How do you guys feel about this? Test LiveSplit. All right. Let me explain this, okay? Because LiveSplit. This video killed my ability to make a video about this. I have been hunting for a copy of LiveSplit for years. This is the first Linux I ever used, LiveSplit. All right? So I use Linux all the time now. And I want to revisit it. All right? I want to use it again. And I finally got a sealed boxed copy of it. I opened it. I filmed unsealing it and opening it. But I got a sealed, not boxed, it's a DVD case. There is a boxed copy on eBay, but they want $300 for it, and I am not paying $300 for this. But I want to install it and test it and use it again for the first time ever, all right? Because it's been so long. So is that the one that started out being called Lindo's and they got sued? I actually don't know the history. I haven't watched this video because I don't want my opinions to be tainted about it because I haven't used it in like 20 years and I want to re-experience it fresh. So I want to film that experience as an everyday Linux user because I'm going to use this and be completely comfortable in it for the most part. Unlike, I don't know if MJD uses Linux. I have a feeling not because most people don't. So this gets the Linux weird factor. For me, there is no Linux weird factor. So I think it would be cool for me to have, to record that experience. Now we can do this on stream, or I can just record it as a second channel video. You guys kind of like the idea of seeing me experience a weird old Linux distro that I really want to. We could do that. Elsewise, I'm just going to record it as home as a second channel video. So that's one thing. First real Linux, probably Ubuntu, Debian, use old Red Hat. So I only get to use this for like a week, maybe a day at most. So I barely got to use it. Basically, it was on a pretty basic surface level. No offense, because just people don't use Linux, but I had a feeling. I really didn't get to use it because the computer that it was on was bought with it pre-installed, so that I'm trying to think about the best way of phrasing this. I did not do this, but LiveSplit was replaced with Windows XP, and buying that computer was the cheapest way to get the hardware without paying for Windows. That is the exact way I'm going to phrase all of that. Okay. I feel like amongst your particular audience, people don't use Linux and we consider fighting words. Well, I mean, I don't mean amongst my audience. I've actually experienced a lot of different kinds of people interactions over the last couple of weeks. It's been interesting. Anyway, yeah, you guys, I would expect more to use Linux and maybe find that interesting or maybe just find it offensive, like you all revolted from even seeing the word mentioned. So, see some interesting side quack week ago. 45 kilograms of hard drives for dumping. Oh my gosh. All 4 8-inch hard drives. Interesting. Copyright protected data. Removing controller PCBs. That sucks. Yeah, I don't know how you're going to do that, Zero Ohms. That's rough. Can compare it to FreeSpire. I don't want to compare it to anything. I just want to use it. That's it. I just want to try it. It's not a comparison. My comparison is to modern Linux, and not in a direct way, just in that I've used modern Linux a lot, but Linspire was the first one I ever used. All right, continuing to go through. Ooh, I do want to do, this is a second channel video we could record. Set up Apple II Plus. I mean, maybe we can do this. It's a little rough. This would probably be mostly a phone stream. So I bought a weird thing. I put these pictures on Mastodon, but I bought a desk, okay? And on that desk, there is an etching in a sticker that says Apple II Plus 4K, which is exactly the Apple II Plus that I have. I have no idea what this desk is, but I bought it because it's weird to see a desk like that at Goodwill, and I would like to set up my Apple II on it. So I would like to pick a spot in the office and set it up. And I would like to make a second channel video about that. I think that'd be funny. So we could do that as a stream. Let's see, what else? What's another thing that has happened? So much stuff. Oh my gosh. I would like Spectrum Analyzer something. We got rolling on the Spectrum Analyzer, and then Data General's just smashed that out of the way. Like, I got the thing from Thor Labs, and they were really kind about that, and then I just did nothing. So at the very least, I would like to make a second channel video that shows that Thor Labs 1 Hertz filter DC block for the Spectrum Analyzer, and maybe show a couple of things on the Spectrum Analyzer. So I'd like to play with that a little bit more. So that's one thing. So yeah, definitely that. So something with the Spectrum Analyzer. But that also tells you I'm getting a little farther back in my photos now. There's the Linux gpib video. That was stupid. It's more seat time with the curve tracer. What exactly could we do with that? See, that's a weird one. I was actually thinking, instead of the curve tracer, the modular scope. I don't know what you're talking about, gpib. That sounds crazy. Yeah, the, was it a 4970 or something, Tektronix? Because, yeah, the curve tracer is kind of one of those things where you need something to use with it. You can't just go use it. The oscilloscope's a little bit easier to synthesize tests with. What is this thing? Oh, I know exactly what that is. Yeah, that's something I actually have to get back to. That's like a video. What did you do? Channel points? I don't have any idea.
SICHEER 100 starting the Amica Fund.
End of line.
GPID, thank you for the 100 bits. All right. I think I'm kind of out of photos for recent stuff. Dude, I spent so much money on Data General stuff during that. It's ridiculous. All right. Okay. Is there anything else I'm forgetting? Let me just look around the office. Oh, there's that. I don't remember if I've shown that on stream or not. I think I did. I think I complained about this because I bought it on eBay and then a better listing sold for less money for more hardware. So this is a Baby Blue card, Baby Blue CPU Plus. This lets you run CPM on a PC. I would like to try this. So, yeah, let's add that. Baby Blue CPM card. Just try it. See what happens. Does it work? I don't know. I can't make a video out of it if it doesn't work, so we got to figure out if it even works. So that's one thing. It said CPM, so I'll now proceed to get hyperactive all over chat. Yeah. All right, so that's one thing. Let's see, over there. Oh, my gosh. Oh, has anyone done this? Okay. Silverstone FLP01. Did anyone do it? We'll just build a high-end looking classic workstation, PC world, same 80s retro PC. Is that just the case? Okay, retro case, montage build. Okay, so no one did it. No one built a vintage PC in the 01. Really? So I can still make that video. Like, I bought everything for that, and I figured someone must have scooped me on it while I was doing all the Data General stuff. I guess not. Okay, well, that's cool. So that, yeah, that. Silverstone FLP01 vintage build. All right. CPM86 exists, but I guess that card has Z80. That card has a Z80, yes. The idea is to run CPM-80 software on it. Yeah, there was some other stuff we were testing for that. I don't remember what. Is that an 8086 board I was going with, or no? That's the SMD 386. Thought LTT did a small video on it. Yeah, they did. No, people have done videos about it, but no one has built. Yeah, RTX 5080. No one has built a vintage PC into the fake vintage case. That's what I'm saying. It's the Uno reverse sleeper. Like, you think, oh, it's a new case that looks old, obviously has new parts, but nope, it actually has old parts. That's what I want to do. But no one's done it. Go to 6502 baseboard and put in the PC. No, I have that. I need an 6K board that's not the BLEP, because the BLEP doesn't work with a 8086. Build the FLP2. No, I have the FLP1. It was expensive. I'm using it. The reverse sleeper, exactly. Double the reverse, put modern Linux on it. That would be kind of hilarious. So yeah, I still want to make that video. So yeah, we can do that. That one, I have some money invested in that. I think I'd rather do that before the wedge scanner. This one's easy. And by some money, I mean kind of a lot of money. So that's a really good one. Okay, I can't believe no one has made that video. All right, let me wander around and just kind of yak for a little bit here. Ooh, there's a thing I want to make a video about. Actually, this is stream. Hold on. Let me make sure this still works, because I haven't done this in a while. Let me just bring up the server really quick. FLP02 to Voodoo 5. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I think a reverse sleeper in this would be hilarious as revenge for all the people trying to make the sleepers of the modern computers in the old cases. Dude, I totally want to do it. I want to do it so bad. So I'm really glad no one's made that video yet. All right, cool. There we are. So if I do this, oh, I got to connect it to the VPN first. That would help. Boom. Okay, there we go. And now, boom. Okay, that works perfect. And you can see how dirty the lens is. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to stop this for a second. I'm going to restart it. Okay. More interesting than the 1000th build? Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I have this. Why is it such a narrow view? Hold on. I need a different camera. Back. There we go. That's way better. There's the WY100, by the way. Okay, so this poor thing sitting underneath this stack of paper. Oh, that is an HP 7550A sheet feed plotter. Now it has a couple of minor issues, but the paper pops up through this, shoots over in there, gets pulled forward, and then it is a continuous, like, fill this with paper and then it can plot and plot and plot and plot. I want this with the HP Series 200 to be able to take to shows. Not that I go to shows, but like if I ever decide to again, people could use the digitizer and then actually save their stuff, plot it out, and then take it home, because this could just be left running mostly unattended. So I would really like to get this up and going on stream. It's just enormous. Like, oh my gosh, is it big and heavy. So yeah, it's been sitting out here. But that's definitely one thing. Okay. So let's add that. Is it crying for retro bright? No, that room is yellow because of the lights, and I have the white balance locked on the phone. So that's why. HP 7550A plotter. That thing has two issues. One,
says the plot thickens CHEER 100.
End of line.
Smorp, thank you for the 100 bits. One, there's like a little issue with the wheels that I think feeds the paper out, where it gets kind of like, it doesn't pull correctly. I think they might just need to be, the wheels might just need to be cleaned. It mostly works. I think it would actually just turn on and work if you plugged it into there. The only other problem is that the display, half of it is dead. There's a little LCD on there that shows like the status of stuff. It's not working. I'm hoping it's a zebra stripe thing, but I think I was told that it's potted inside. So I don't know if we can actually work on it. World's longest plotted thing. I mean, I could do that with any of them as far as sheet feed paper, like a continuous sheet. That would be easy. 475A would be able to do that. Yeah, I wanted to get the 7550A up and running. So that's another one. It's a kind of lower priority project, but yeah, that's definitely one of them. This is just sitting around taking up space. Let's see. What else do I have around here? Yeah, there is that curve tracer. It would be cool, but I don't have anything to do with it. Oh my gosh, there's too many terminals and test equipment in here. Okay, there's a bunch of printers. There's one of the scanners I'm going to cut up. Bunch of random Macs that no one cares about. Oh, that's like a dumb, that's a second channel video there. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to show you this. We're going to do this at some point. This is one of the stupid ones that we can do on like a Friday, because it's not going to take more than 2 hours, that's for sure. All right. I bought a brand new sealed in the box vintage IDE hard drive at Goodwill. It's 120 gigs, all right? Sounds pretty nice, right? Like, I'll be able to put it in a computer and then I can have a nice, new, reliable hard drive. This is it. So, I just want to do a second channel video. Does it work? I'm an idiot. See, I would just like to, I just want to do a second channel video of does it work? So yeah, that is a Fry's Electronics sticker there. So I have half a mind to do a video that, look at that, $109. That's crazy. I think it could be fun to do an all Fry's Electronics build. Find a bunch of new inbox hardware only from Fry's Electronics, but that is so niche. That would be really, really hard to do. See, I would like to do this video at some point. That's definitely one. Let's go mark that down. We're all positive the drive works. Yeah, sure. Never had one Maxtor drive I didn't have to RMA. Most of mine have worked. I think maybe all of them have. All right. Crushed HDD. does it work? So that's definitely a Friday stream. We'll probably have multiple operating systems. Well, no. It wouldn't be everything that Fry's Electronics sold, but that's the other problem, is that I would have to get compatible era parts that are all sealed from one supplier. That's a real hard ask. Got some CF adapters for Fry's with a sticker? Yeah. See, it's the little weird things like that. That's easy, but could I find a Pentium 3 in the box with a Fry sticker? Like, that's the thing. Max Store HDD will it blend? Yeah. Looks fine, at least the box is not leaking, yeah. So, all right. Yeah, we got a good list here, actually. That's pretty good. A lot of these are more than one-day projects. Some of them are just one-day projects. Set up Apple II, 1 day. Tesla Inspire, 1 day. The Weiss could be a 2-day. Spectrum Analyzer, that one needs some more fleshing out. Wouldn't count against finding a P4 price sticker. I'm not sure if the P4 from the XP build wasn't for Fry's or not. There was probably some stuff from Fry's in there, but it was for the XP video, not for, a Fry's build. Let's see. What else? Oh. Get back to the floppy interposer project. I would really like to get to that again. For those of you who may not remember that, GitHub. What do you bet I should be signed out? It's been too long. Yeah, who would have guessed? Git.techtangents.net. I'm not going to be, I am signed out of my own Git instance. Fine. GitHub / whatever. Fine. Okay. So, repos, stream, no, DG, no. It was floppy debug. Okay. I would like to get this made. This is the floppy poser. This is phase 1 of the floppy interposer project, which is a project to design an enclosure for external floppy drives to use with a grease weasel or multiple grease weasels. The idea is to make a modern open source enclosure for making archiving floppy disks easier. That's the idea. So I want to continue running with this, but we need to make this. We need to get, I need to order the board basically, and whatever the chips are, I forget. Yeah. So I'd like to get back to that. That's definitely 7 months ago. Are you kidding? That's ridiculous. So that's another thing. Oh man, so much stuff. It's nice, has chips on it, ship it. Yeah, I designed the 3D model for the bracket that lets you mount it in a 3.5-inch drive bay and everything. It's ready to go. Just go make it. But yeah, all right, let me wander around a little bit more. Oh, you know what? The Brother EP44, I would actually really like to get to that. I forgot all about that. Brother EP44. That's the printing dot matrix typewriter. Definitely that. That's the one I teased on the stream after the collab with Usagi. All right, what else have I got? So much stuff. Oh my gosh. Do I make that public? Well, it's not like anyone's gonna scoop me on it. You know what? That's an actual video. I'm not gonna reveal that one. Okay. I want that to be a stream. You know, we probably should do that as a stream. Okay. You know what? I know I've talked about this before. I want to put it on the list. All right. It's a long list of DGG talks? Yes, exactly. All right, remember that, brother? All of chat was interested in that? Yeah, it's pretty sweet. We can bump that up even, actually. Probably more like right there. Maybe a little higher. I'm not saying this is the order I'm going to do these in, but this is the order that, like, when I look at these, like, these are more likely to get done.
And what about the mystical thing you have in your office entry floor with the 35 drives you showed ages ago?
End of
35
line.
drives. 3.5 inch? Office floor entry. I don't know what you're talking about. Is it just a Mac or a... I don't know. I may have, you know what? I think I just leaked a project out there, actually, that I was, there's a build that I've been trying to acquire some parts for, oh my gosh, it's before COVID. Oh man, that's been a long one in the progress. Okay. Hold on. We'll get to this in a moment. I'm going to put a call out for this. Hold on. Cherry SciMotion. It's this. That's how it's spelled. Okay. I want this keyboard. Cherry PS2 keyboard with a Linux button on it. That's it. There's literally no other thing. It's got Penguin on it, okay? I want this keyboard. I've not been able to find it. There is a slightly older version of it as well. I don't know if this one came in a Linux variant, but the other one definitely did. I want the Linux variant of this one. Okay, so anyone has any leads on this, get in touch with me, because there is a project that I have backed up waiting for this. Yeah, it's so dumb that I'm like locking this project behind this, but I want this keyboard for this project. They probably sold about 3 and the rest of the production went to landfill. Probably. Like, are there any non-promotional photos of this thing? That, but I think that's not the Linux one. Is that a Windows key on there? I think it is. Because the Linux one was a variant of the standard one. The other thing is, it's Qrt Z. That's the other problem. I don't care. It's worth it. I think they were only sold in Germany. So yeah, you see Qrt Z. But yeah, that's the Windows key right there. That's no fun. Of all of the alternate keyboard layouts, yeah, that was pretty easy to adapt to. It's wireless? I didn't even realize that. That's gonna extra suck. Oh gosh. Oh, there is a wired version. Okay, I was gonna be like, no. Had a price from Cherry UK. This? That's Hardware DE? I don't know. But yeah. Anyone who gets any leads on one of these, want. Look at this thing, man. This is ridiculous. Ah! Oh, that's the wireless one. Okay. Linux. No. Looks very cheap. Oh, yeah. As a keyboard, it's going to suck. It's not going to be good. But I want it. That's it, but I need the Linux one. But, wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah. Wait a minute. I know what this site is. This is German Craigslist, isn't it? This is the Windows version, though. That's unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. Well, it's the English. It's the Windows one. That's just 3D print a Linux key. I can do that to any keyboard. No, it needs to come from Cherry. Like, does it actually have the Penguin printed on it too? Because that would be so stupid would love it. Like, it might have actually had the penguin printed on it. You know, it's also entirely possible that they only printed a Windows box and it could be the Linux one inside. I don't know. No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's a penguin on the key. There's a penguin on the key. That's why I want it. Like, come on. That's so ridiculous. As far as I am aware, that is the only, like, pre-2010 keyboard that would have existed with a Linux anything on it. That's real. Why is... Wait, there's a US version of it even? What? There you go. It's a real one. A real disgusting one, but it's a real one. So it actually has the penguin on it. Yeah. Dude, I want it so bad. It's just for the Sue CD. I mean, why not? Yeah, you guys keep asking questions, and apparently the stream delay is really bad. This is the part number you want? Is that for the US one? Because I really want that one. I mean, that would be nice, but I don't really care that much. Wait, Mauser? Why is it on Mauser? That's hilarious. Okay, so there's what the box looks like. How does Octopart have a picture of the box? That's it, yeah. So the box would have the penguin on it. Okay. I bought Cherry, put the Linux keyboard back into production. Yeah, that ain't happening. Okay, so yeah, there is... Wait, why would you get US English with a pound key? Or not a pound, a Euro key. Wait, is there just not US English? So you can get Cyrillic US English. Maybe they just didn't sell one with a dollar one. That's the Quake 2 key. I'll give you one hint. Quake 2 is one of the things I want to use that keyboard with. So that's extra funny. Yeah, I wish I could find this keyboard. Dude, 2 pages of results on Google? That's ridiculous. Yeah. Some people hate national layouts and more comfortable with US. Okay. Extra on the 5, the rest are identical. Okay. Which is really, yeah. Want. Okay, so that's not it then. We could feel fairly confident in that. That's getting off. So, yeah, that's there is a project that's held up by not having that. Literally been held up for so long. Oh my gosh. I'll say this. It was one of my most requested videos earlier on. So, I'll tease with that as well. Now you have a number to make a safe search on eBay. I've had Cherry SciMotion on eBay so long, nothing shows up. Cherry Linux as well. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, a ton of Cherry Linux hits show up because people just say, like, oh, this Cherry Switch keyboard is Linux compatible. So, may not even exist anymore. Well, I mean, they don't make them new, for sure. But the old ones will exist. All right. Is there anything left here? Imagine tossing turning bed. Sound please your dreams. Welcome to the earth. Yeah. Industrious ant, you have no idea how often that kind of thing happens and how devastating it is. But for real. So, all right. I think that's it. Just one keyboard's not weird enough. On this channel, I would on the second channel. It's not gonna be a second channel thing though. It's gonna be a main channel thing as part of a bigger project. The bigger project, you know what, I'm not gonna say anymore. It doesn't really make, oh yeah, this. Okay, hold on. Let's add this to the list. Genlock, right? No, Glencoe. I know words. It doesn't matter. LPT security. Dongle, not songle, dongle dev kit. So this is your Nintendo Switch game key card. Switch 2. So this is what they started out as. So this is an LPT dongle for adding DRM to your software, but this is the dev kit. So I want to try this out. I really want to make a video about this. It's extra relevant with the game key guard debacle right now. So now would be an even better time to test this, see if it works, make a video. Back? Okay. Do I need more random dongles? So I have one USB dongle and I have one piece of software that did actually come with its LPT dongle. Slight F seems back? Okay. So I do have examples of other software that use this, but I want to test this, make sure we can actually use it, make sure we can actually do a lockout dev. So yeah, I don't know how it works. So inside of that, there is an ASIC. And I believe you can program it a security challenge. Like, so let's say your security challenge is if you output 2 to the LPT port, you should get back 4 because you did a square of the number. So then you could challenge it by, 8 and getting back 64. That says a really basic thing. You could have a whole hash system in there. So it's meant to be a really complicated system for doing that. First engineering one of those would have been a real pain. Nowadays it would be relatively easy. Kind of, yeah. So LPT now USB dongle security. Software only works at 200,000 season C unit. Think that would work as the security? My video editing software, DaVinci Resolve, I have a USB security dongle for that. Well, off dongle. But yeah. So I can also demonstrate that. I also have, and Wesley, if they're still watching, will know this pain. I have an embroidery program that has a USB security dongle because embroidery stuff, for some reason, is really brutal about the DRM. So yeah, I would like to test the LPT security dongle dev kit on stream because there's going to be a lot of, does it work? How does it work? Can we even use it? So we should definitely do that on stream and just go through it because if I can't make a video, it'd at least be interesting to poke through it. Expensive too, yep. Is it Cree cut based? No, it's way older. Way older. Surprised it's not an LPT dongle. Because Vintage Embroidery saw a little while ago. Did he check for a dongle, I wonder? Yeah. Don't go there. I have repressed those memories. Yeah. LPT dongles are a little microcontroller. Yeah, I think some are PROM, but I might be wrong. But the really old ones are. Anyway, I did read through the manual slightly on this dev kit. I think the way that it can work is you can just write your program, have your exe be done, and then basically create a wrapper front end for your executable. So you don't even need to integrate this into your dev kit. You can just do like a ghetto version of DRM where it does the initial check on startup. And what that would mean, and the main premise of the video, is I can add DRM to the original Doom. So I could like take a shareware Doom floppy and then make it only work with the DRM dongle installed. That's what I want the video to be. So yeah, we need to test if we can do that. Because if we can do that, that would be awesome. Yeah, Weiss 100. It's not mine, but we could just validate that. I gotta crack it open and see if everything inside looks good. Reform the caps, all that fun stuff. Ooh, I should also double check if they want me to do that. Dongles I took apart, have the PIC 12. There's a window where I can see the chip. I can just tell you what it is. Chip markings are, I don't know, it's just called Fast Eye. I don't know, I can just bring it over there and show you. It's not illegal to DRM free software. I mean, I'm not selling or distributing it. Whatever I do with whatever I own doesn't matter. Worst case, I'll compile an executable for something and, you know, encrypt that. Yeah, this is the dev kit dongle, so it might be a little different. It literally just has a window on it that shows you. Get out of stupid zoom mode. There we go. Just shows you what chip is in there. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's just an ASIC with a custom silkscreen, screen print, laser etch, whatever on there. They also didn't say I was going to do it with the shareware version of Doom. I could do it with the paid version. Encrypt the deck talk scripts. I don't think it'll work with Python. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that needs to be done with that, though, because I have, like, the driver software disk here. So, which, I shouldn't make this joke, but I already made the mistake today, so I'm just, real quick, it's, there could be a better name for the software. That's copy protection software, by the way. That's what that stands for. But yeah, I would really like to, look at this. Pick of embroidery software. No, should be able to find the embroidery software I have. It's Plaf, I think, on the Wiki. One moment. Wiki. Plaf. Paf. Custom ASIC seems unlikely. I don't know. I thought it was Plaf. Plaf. No? Okay, I don't know what, I don't remember what it was called. Embroidery. I got no idea. I think it's on there. CD has no return or exchange, steals, broken or attack. Yeah. Can you link the Mario Kart? I mean, yeah, sure. Phone, what do you want? Use Wise Terminal through radio modem. Ah, cool. Put a bag of ice on the modem? Hold on, chat's loading. All right, there you go. There's the P-switch map. All right, though, that's gonna be it for today's stream. All right. Are we done now? Yeah, I think we are. Okay. So that was the welcome back stream. It was really nice to mentally unload everything. I have a big video project that I have to do that I can't stream. So that's part of why we had to come up with the list of all of the things. So, yeah, the big video project is also going to kind of be a pain in the butt because it's like, well, it's complicated. I'm not going to go into it anymore. But yeah, all right, it's outro time. Yay, outro. All right. Well, that is it for today. I managed not to totally destroy my voice. I'm happy about that. It's a little bad, but I'll recover. Enjoy the unshaved. It'll be fixed tomorrow. I mean, not the beard stand. The beard grows so fast, it's like a pain in the butt trying to actually keep it shaved. So just gave up. But yeah, anyway, that's it. So if you enjoyed this stream, you may want to follow to be notified when I go live again next. I'll pick probably one of the topics we looked at today to do tomorrow. We'll figure that out. But yeah, that's it for now. Oh yeah, the outro. Let's actually do the outro. Dude, I had to make a new thumbnail for this stream for the YouTube side. I completely forgot where I put everything for that. Like, it's been 4 months since I've done a new thumbnail for the live channel. It's crazy. Yeah. Watch as you don't consult that list till September. Very possible. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna pick up a thing. I'm gonna go, oh yeah, I wanted to do that. And then we do that instead. Anyway, all right. If you enjoyed this stream, you may want to follow to be notified when I go live again next. If you want to help support the channel, you can find me on Patreon or get a shirt like this one. But that's not it for now. If you are in the EU, please go look at the Stop Killing Games campaign. They are just short of just over 1 month away from meeting the deadline to try and get enough signatures to get Parliament's attention for the issue, and it's very important. So if you're in the EU, please check out stopkillinggames.com. I'm going to try and mention that through the rest of July on every stream, and I'm going to try and put it in the end of the videos as well. So, but that's it for now. I will see you all next time. Oh, I didn't have the prayer thing, so give me a second. Okay, bye.